Hey, I'm going to show you how to navigate the GitLab code base today. So this is one of the more challenging things you're going to have to do at GitLab. One of the hardest things to do working on a project of this size is just finding where is everything rendered and how does it work and what does it look like. This is really difficult. So first thing here is to give yourself some patience, some kindness. I always have a difficult time with this. I've worked at GitLab for a bit over a year now and I'm still struggling. So give yourself some kindness, give yourself some space. But this is what we're going to do. So here is an issue where in this issue specifically we are given the name of a file that we're going to update. So in this case we can find the file super easy. So we're going to look in VS Code, Command P, Control P, whatever it is. This is it. This is our file. So you can see where it's located. We have a change here. This is from the migration. So when you run like update the database, you'll get this. You just need to remove it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so now we have our file and we have the drop down that we're going to change. Drop down. This is what we actually have to do on this issue, is the drop down here. What we need to do first is find out how do we load this page. Where is this located? So I'm going to run through some steps. This is my process. So the first thing I do is start gathering clues to understand what is the purpose of this file. What is it? Where is it used? What's it for? So you can see from the folder structure, this is in assets. I don't know what that means. JavaScript, obviously it's JavaScript. Package and registry. Okay, cool. This is important. This is a part of the GitLab project. Package registry, great. Components. So it's a component in the package registry. Now, if we want to look at what the project registry is, we can have a look at a project. Package registry. We can look at a project. It's running on the GDK, so it's a bit slower than usual. And I think it's in deploy. Package registry, great. But if you're new to GitLab, you don't know how to use it, that's fine. What we're going to do is GitLab package registry docs. So these docs are, if you're a user of GitLab, how to use GitLab. So this says like, what is the package registry? Is it free? This says all tiers. So free, ultimate, everything. It's a little bit different if it's going to be, if it's on ultimate. If it's on ultimate, ask us for help, please, because what you need to do is add a license to your GitLab development kit. It's a bit of a, but we'll walk you through it. It's not so bad. But it's not what we're covering here. What we're covering here is just how do we do it. So this says like, what is it? How does it work? How do you view it? Go to the project or the group, go to packages and registry, go to package registry. So the way that works, deploy package registry, otherwise you might just have to click around. Yeah. Anyway, we found it. Package registry. Now, I have packages already here, but when I first picked up this issue, I did not. So I want to show you what I encountered. Oh, sorry, I'll show you the easy path first. Flight, projects, sorry. Okay, so for me it works now, which most case it's going to be this easy. So here is our page, we're on the right page. Now we're going to look into our code and we're going to try to work out what is this specific thing doing. Its data test ID is called delete dropdown. That's a pretty good indicator. This says vif, so we only show it if the package entity can destroy. So can it be destroyed? Okay, interesting. We also know this file is called the row. So now we know it's in this row. And here is a drop down which says delete package. This is it. If we want to be extra sure, we can have a look at the View Dev Tools. View Dev Tools. We can have a look at the why are we looking at the performance bar? No. So in View DevTools, we have a bunch of apps running on this page. The one we want is package registry. You can see because it's highlighted here. So we have a list. We have a package title. I don't know. We're looking for like a list. We're looking for the rows. Delete packages. Okay. So we have the list, registry list. Here's the row, the list item, and here's our drop down. Here it is. So this is definitely it. Okay, if it's not that easy, I want to show you some other things you can try doing. So you can also look at the content. So here we have the content is this. Options I18 delete package. So when you see options I18 delete package, we can just do a search in the file for delete package. Here are the translations. So this translation is delete package test. We're going to command click and follow it. We're going to find out where is this coming from, which is here. So what we want to know is like what is the text? Delete something. Oh, there's so many. I didn't pay attention to what I was looking for. Delete package test. Okay, great. So this says this is the group it's in, and this is the text that is being translated. So what we'd expect to see is delete package, and here we can see delete package. Cool. Okay, next thing you can try. So we're looking at the file path, the folder structure that is, which I already showed you. Next thing is work out like which feature this component is used in. We know it's package registry. Next thing is we can follow the component hierarchy. So what does this mean? Package list row is not rendered by itself. It's a row. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the name, and we're going to try to find where else is this listed, and is it the same one. So here I've been a little bit lazy and just copied the name. If we wanted to be more specific, we can copy the file path and then cut this down as needed until we find it. Packages list. I think this is the main place we're going to find it. If we just look for package list row, we might find something that's importing something from somewhere else. So this is infrastructure registry. That's not what we want. We want package registry. Okay, so here is our parent component, package list. Now package list might also be rendered by someone else. So again, we're going to copy the file path. We're going to keep going until we find the parent. Or something that looks familiar, list. Great. So list, now we've got package registry, pages, list. So if we still don't know, we're just going to keep going. We can go all the way down here. So again, copy file path. Let's look for pages list. Okay, so now we have a router. This is good because it's going to tell us like what is the URL that we're looking at. So what's happening here is we have a front end router. So we mainly do our routing in the back end at GitLab, but here we're using a front end router. This isn't useful information, so we're just going to keep looking for more useful information. This might be it. I'm not sure. Okay, cool. This one is super useful. This is also a router. These are all routers. So what we want to know is like, where is this router being used? And again, we want to find the right one. So let's look for package registry. This is probably it. These is container registry, harbor registry, package registry, remote development. This is the one. This is the one that's rendering our actual thing. So we're going to look for its file path. Try to find it. Who is bringing in this file? Is anywhere. Maybe it's not. Router.js is going to find heaps. Okay, cool. So what that means is it's probably being pulled in from Vue. So, from HAML. So we can have a look at the folder structure now. We can see the router. And then what we're looking for is the index. So this index, this is where the Vue component is rendered in HAML. So this takes some getting used to. This is very confusing. What's happening here is we're rendering the Vue component. So remember here, we looked at like we've got several Vue components. We've got the sidebar, which is here, here. We've got a bunch of things happening here. It's a bunch of applications. And the one we're looking for is package registry. And I want to know, where is package registry rendered? What is the file that renders it? So what I'm going to do is, this is saying it's looking for an element with an ID of JS package list. So I'm going to do a search for JS package list. I'm expecting a HAML file, or maybe a few. We got a few. Okay, cool. A HAML file that brings that renders a div, or an element rather, with an ID of JS Vue package list. So it's going to be one of these three, but we know it's packages, so we're going to look at this one. So here we have our ID, and this ID is also passing a bunch of other stuff to our component. They're fed in as props. I'm going to show you that in another video, but for now all we need to know is this: views. So from views in Ruby on Rails, this is where our routing starts. Projects, packages, packages. So now we can go to, if we're going to do this again, we're going to go to projects. So you can go to your work, I think, projects. So this is the projects in projects. And then we're on a project. We're going to look at packages, which again we know from the docs is here, package registry. And we're here. This is already it. This is it. Okay. That was pretty long, but sometimes it's what you need to do. Okay. Next step is we follow the component hierarchy. Now, if we're really stuck, which is what happened to me on this, I could not work out how to render this, because when I looked at a project, what I got was this. Let's look at, okay, this is a project that I created, then that I deleted. So I want a project, your work, projects, GitLab shell. This does not have any package registries on it by default, none. I don't know how to make one. So I can follow this. Now, this is a bit confusing because some things on the GDK need something called GitLab runner to run. Like a pipeline, for example, needs GitLab runner to run it. I don't know how this works. You don't need to know how this works. It's interesting. If you want to know, Google it. GitLab runner. It's very confusing. Anyway, ask for help or read about it. Do whatever you want. Package registry. First thing I want to check, is this all tiers? Yeah, it is. Cool. And then how do you do it? If you try to do it and it doesn't work, okay, there's a problem, which is exactly what I did. This is the really neat trick. So we can look at our component, and we can look at the the git blame. The way I'm doing this here is with git lens. Again, you can use this on your own instance of GDK, on VS Code. Just download git lens. I think it's this one. Yeah, git lens. You can do the same thing if you're using gitpod, whatever. This is what I want to see. When was this component last updated and how? And then what I can do is I can have a look, click this button, open commit on GitLab. Which repo do you want to open it on? Do you want to open it on the community fork or on the main one? On the main one, I think. Okay, this is the the commit that last changed this component. I want to look at the merge request. So I'm going to click this. One merge request. Now this merge request is a description of when this was last changed. This is the useful bit, how to set up and validate locally. On your Rails console, open a Rails console. So bundle exec Rails C. I think you can just write Rails C. But anyway, bundle exec Rails C. We're going to follow it. Just as an example, find the project. So this is in Ruby on Rails. Again, this is really difficult. Take your time with it. It's hard. You're not expected to know everything. Ask for help. All good. Ask in the Discord. Create a package. I'm just literally going to be copying and pasting this. If you want to know what a project ID is, you can Google it, read the docs. I know what it is though. It's this. See project 3? So I'm just going to replace this with 3. So project find 3. Then I'm going to create a package. Factory bot. I'm just going to copy this. Then I'm going to update the status. I'm literally just going to copy this. Copy this, copy this, copy this. If I have any problems, which again, I did have a problem here, I'm going to ask for help. Now, there's 2 ways you can find out who to ask for help. 1, Discord. Fine. Perfectly reasonable. Second, we can look at our original issue, and here we always have our labels with which team does this belong to. So the group that it belongs to is DevOps Manage. The team it belongs to is Group Foundations. So what I want to do is GitLab Group Foundations. I want to find the team page. Manage Foundations team. This is the Foundations team. This is, okay, so I work for Manage stage, but I spent a lot of time in this team. That's why I'm not listed. Don't worry about it. Don't read into it. Anyway, if I want to ask for help, here's the product manager. Here's the engineering manager. Here are the engineers. So I'm going to look at the first one, which is Lucas, IP. I'm going to click on his name. And then I'm going to look at his GitLab profile. I'm going to find his ID, which is this. And then I'm going to say, hey Lucas, I need help validating this. Can you please help me? And he's going to get an email and he's going to respond. I literally did this. I literally asked Lucas and he helped me do this. So don't feel dumb doing this. Alternatively, so the way Group Foundations work is like we work across the board. We work across a bunch of different places. But this one, this is the group that manages this product package registry. So now, well, I could just ask Jose, or I can Google for package registry group. The GitLab handbook is totally open. This is the docs. What I want is the group. This is the team. So then you can ask one of these people. And again, you're just going to follow the same steps. The reason why you should check on like their GitLab profile is it's very possible they're busy. If they're on holidays, it'll automatically say busy. So David Fernandez says he is busy. He has large MR reviews backlog. So maybe if you want a quick answer, ask someone else. There's some other people on that list. Ask them until you get an answer. Cool. Okay, great. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is maybe I don't know the file path. So maybe I've got an issue that says like, it says, where's a good example? So maybe I want to update this button, right? This web IDE button. I know it was updated recently. So yeah, maybe your ticket or issue here is to update this button. How do you find it? So one thing you can do is you can look for the text. Now this can be difficult because web IDE is probably just normal text in the code base, but something else like I don't know, GitLab shell, like this is a variable name, it's just a project name. So anyway, we're going to look for web IDE. Web IDE. This is too many results, not useful, I can't find it. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to look for some clues. I'm going to look for something that's individual. So I can inspect this web IDE button, and then I can look for, okay, it has an IDE, it has an ID called web IDE link. That's pretty unique. I bet if I search for this, I can probably find the file. Great. So this is actually a Vue application right here. It's going to render a Vue application. It's going to add this router. It's doing some interesting stuff. Here is a web IDE link. It doesn't have an ID of the same name, but maybe this one does. Web IDE link. Okay, cool. I think we've found it anyway. Here we go. Okay, so this is it. Action button has an ID of web IDE button. Oops, I've gone wrong here. So I want to look at this text. So web button IDE, here is a variable with the text that we're looking for. So now I can look where is this used, and now I know this is the page that is actually updating this. And if I want to test it, what I can do is, so it has some actions. So what I want to do is test to make sure like I am in the right place. So we can look at action buttons. I'm just control clicking using it like a hyperlink here. So I want to open this component, action buttons, and I want to open it. Actually, even easier, because all I want to do is test to see am I in the right place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that text I had before. No, I don't know what the text is, right? The text is web IDE. Where is this located? Is it in this file? Web IDE. Open in web IDE. Is this right? No, it's just web IDE. Here, so I'm going to test this to something silly. I'm going to test it to poop, and then I'm going to refresh the page. Gotta have your own fun, right? And then now this button should just say poop instead of web IDE. So now we know we're on the right page, at least. Let's undo this because that'd be an embarrassing thing to push. Cool, okay. All right, so you can also use DevOps. You can also use the Vue dev tools like we used before, and then you can find the exact component. So for here, for example, this is GitLab tooltip. So this is from the component library. So the component here we're looking for is called tooltips. and then you can just search for tooltips. P tool tips. Tooltips.view. This is it. Okay, next thing you can do is look for other indicators. So we'll use the ID, but you could also do things like data QA selector. This is a pretty safe bet. You're going to find this. Data track action. This is probably a variable, so maybe don't use this. This has a lot of different classes on it. It might be unique enough that we can find it. It's worth a try. No, it doesn't. Maybe they're built in together, so maybe that's why it's confusing. Again, or the other thing we can do is if you can try to work out which team manages this page by trying to find something else on the page, or like I don't know, Google, GitLab group team projects page. I don't know if this will work. This is a bit generic. Team handbook. I'm going to look for handbook. So what I'm hoping for is no, I don't think so. Is something like the GitLab Foundations group. This one. You can see also here like what do we work on, and it might specifically say the projects that we work on. But yeah, cool. That's how you find stuff. Thanks. I hope it was helpful.